Hey guys, it is Alex. It has been a while since I've done a YouTube vlog, but I am here to do a LuLaRoe review for you. So you guys have been amazing. You followed me through my pregnancy with Kendall. You followed me through the beginning of my pregnancy with Juliana, and then I kind of got busy in this thing we called life, and I stopped doing my vlogs, and I apologize, guys. I know I hopped on in 2016, and I was kind of updating you a little bit with where I was at in my life. I had told you that I got married to the boy that I had a crush on in college, which was in one of my videos. I let you know that I was a LuLaRoe retailer, and then I have failed you. I have failed to come back and do videos. But it is on my to-do list to start making weekly vlogs again. And the first vlog that I'm going to do is a LuLaRoe review. So you all knew that I sold LuLaRoe, but I've never told you my love for LuLaRoe. So we are going to start with year one. And I'm just going to kind of just do like a quick breakdown of my journey, basically, and why I joined and where I'm at now and all that fun stuff. So you guys, Kendall's almost 6 years old. Can you believe that? Like, I did the vlog every week with Kendall, and I can't believe she's almost 6. Like, I look back on those videos and I'm like, oh my gosh, I was such a baby. So, okay. Let's calm down because I get really flustered and I'm not a public speaker, and I've got some notes jotted down here because I'm awful at public speaking. And even though I'm not live or in front of an entire crowd of people, I still get flustered because I feel like I'm gonna stumble on my words. I talk too fast, my face gets hot, my hands get cold. So I'm gonna just breathe and let it out. Okay, so I have been a LuLaRoe retailer for almost 3 years. It'll be my 3-year anniversary at the end of April 2019. My first launch party was May 3rd, 2016. You guys were in 2019. What? Okay, so when I joined LuLaRoe, you guys, I never tried a piece of clothing on. Can you believe that? Like, I took that leap of faith and I never even tried on the clothes. So there was this girl that I knew who's actually my sponsor right now. Her name is Nicole. She's amazing. So I started seeing all of these like random posts about LuLaRoe, and I'm like, what the heck is LuLaRoe? And I started to get intrigued, and I pondered the idea for 4 weeks, and I kind of wish that I would have just jumped on it 4 weeks before I joined, because I would have been like at a better place and not having to wait. I think I waited like, gosh, February, I waited almost 4 months to onboard, you guys. I sent my stuff in, and then it took 4 months before I would become a retailer. Had I joined when I first thought of it, it would have taken me like a day. So anyways, at first I told her, I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna join. I don't have the money. It's just not me. Like, no, good luck to you, girl. I even told my husband at first that I was thinking about it, and then I was like, I'm not gonna join. I've already decided. And it was so funny. So I submitted all my stuff, and then I told him afterwards, I'm like, yeah, so I joined LuLaRoe. And he's like, I thought you weren't going to join. I'm like, yeah, I'll change my mind. That's just kind of how I roll. So never tried the clothing, took that leap, jumped in full force. I was a LuLaRoe retailer. So I finally tried my first piece, which was a Cassie skirt. Actually, I think I have them up here. So this is a Cassie skirt. Why not, right? Just show you. It is a pencil skirt, but unlike other pencil skirts that have the zipper and it's more like designed for your specific size, this has stretch to it, and it kind of holds you in up top. See how that band right there kind of holds everything all in place, and you feel slim, which for me, I needed. So I finally tried my first piece. My first piece was a Cassie, and then it was the leggings, and oh my gosh, I fell in love at that point. I knew that I made the right decision. Sorry if you hear my daughter's videos in the background. She's actually watching YouTube, which is funny because I'm making a video on YouTube. So anyways, Kendall, please turn it down a little bit. Sorry. Hopefully I can edit that because I don't know how to edit. I just know how to talk. So before I ever tried the LuLaRoe clothing, you really didn't find me out in public much at that point. I kind of grew into this like depression after Juliana because with my last pregnancy, I gained a lot of weight and I didn't drop it. Even with the breastfeeding, I had a C-section. So those that have had C-sections know what I'm talking about. Like, your body just does not go back to the way that it's supposed to be. So I wore a lot of like bigger size jeggings. I still wore my maternity pants. I wore like yoga pants and oversized sweatshirts. I really didn't care to like do myself up a lot because I wasn't going anywhere. I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin to go anywhere. So once I finally tried the clothing on, I became a new person. I felt beautiful for the first time in a long time, which was a really good feeling. Like I finally was like, yes, now I've got clothes that I can wear and I don't feel like I look like a whale. Like I actually feel beautiful. And that's how a lot of people that I have come in contact with because of LuLaRoe have felt. You know, the clothing isn't like skin tight. Like I can't wear, you know, low rise skinny jeans. I can't wear, you know, shirts that are form fitted. Like, and I love that they're flowy. Like right now I have on a perfect tee. So it's flowy. It's got this cute little slit on the side. I've got these like cute sweaters that I can wear. I'm wearing leggings. I don't know if you can see them. Even like the normal t-shirt, you know, it's not form fitted and they're long enough that they, you know, you're not exposing, you know, your behind. You're all covered, which is awesome. Full coverage is amazing. So as you can see, I became in love with the clothes and I wear them all the time. Like even now, 3 years later, almost 3 years later, I don't wear a lot of clothes that aren't LuLaRoe because when I try them on, I'm like, ugh, here we go again. I feel like I don't look good. And then I put on LuLaRoe and I'm like, hey girl. Okay, so before I start rambling, which is what I do, we will move on. Okay, so after I joined, I became closer with my daughter's stepmother. Like what? Most people aren't friends with their ex's like new wife or new husband or however, you know, it works. But my oldest daughter, her dad is remarried and we haven't always gotten along. We butt heads a lot. We go through those periods where we get into fights and then we don't talk and it's just a big family mess drama. But she's a LuLaRoe retailer too. It's so funny. It's such a small world and Maine is small and I'm sure it's that way everywhere. But anyways, she joined a little bit before me. I'd say about 2 to 3 weeks before me. But we both sell LuLaRoe. She still is a LuLaRoe retailer. And honestly, I feel like because of us both doing the same thing, we have something in common and it's helped us to get along with each other a little bit. Like even if, I mean, we still like have our little tiffs or whatever here and there. But, you know, when we go to like do a pickup or drop off, we start talking about LuLaRoe. So it brought us closer together. And, you know, a lot of people, a lot of other retailers are like, what? You both sell LuLaRoe? You guys are friends? What? So anyways, that's kind of cool. Like LuLaRoe brought us together. My sponsor, her children went to, or, you know, they still kind of go sometimes, to her daycare because my daughter's stepmom owns a daycare and they went to the daycare. So I ran into her. That's how I kind of know my sponsor. And we're actually pretty good friends too. So we've gotten closer, me and my sponsor. Her daughter does dance with my middle child. So I just think that that's a really cool thing that wouldn't have happened without LuLaRoe. Sorry guys, went through that. Okay, sorry. I apologize. I'm a horrible speaker. So LuLaRoe is like a marriage. Why do I say that? Because a lot of people that joined LuLaRoe thought that it was just like an easy, you know, way to get money. They thought, oh, well, hey, I'm just going to get all these clothes. Everyone's going to buy them. They're going to fly off the shelf because LuLaRoe is so popular. I'm going to become a millionaire. What? It doesn't work like that. And to tell you the truth, my first launch party, I sold nothing. I didn't sell a single thing. I was kind of a little discouraged because I did see a lot of people that, you know, like, oh my God, I sold $3,000 at my launch party. I sold, you know, $1,500. I sold $10,000 at my launch party and I sold nothing. I started thinking like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? I'm not going to sell anything and now I've got $5,000 worth of clothes. What am I going to do? But rather than getting down and wanting to quit, I started creating goals and figuring out how I was going to tackle this. And my sales started, you know, rising. I was like, okay, this is good. Going into year 2, my sales were pretty good. And then towards the end of year 2, beginning of, well, no, I keep getting confused. It's the years that are getting me confused. So the end of 2017 into the beginning of 2018, my sales were not good, like really bad. And I wanted to quit I'd say 100 times. I'm not even kidding you guys. I have contacted my sponsor so many times to be like, you know what, I'm giving it a month, and then if I'm not doing good, I'm out. I said that. I can't even count how many times I said that to her, and she's like, well, just stick it out, like, you know, let's see, you know. Or it was, you know, you got to do what's right for your family. And every time I said that, I stayed. For some reason, I don't know, I was just in a lull, which we all have. So I compare LuLaRoe to like a marriage. You're gonna have hard times. You're gonna have good times. What matters is the work that you put in and just sticking it out. So those times that I wanted to quit, like, you could do that in a marriage, but what good is that? You have to work. You have to put in the work to reap the reward. So I compare it to a marriage. Anyways, before I start rambling. One of the reasons that I loved LuLaRoe as much as I did, it wasn't just the clothes. It's never been just about clothes for me. And a lot of people I feel like can relate to that too. I love LuLaRoe, but more than that, I love how it makes people feel. I love how it makes me feel. I have fun doing live sales and doing in-person events and meeting people. I love the customers. Sorry, I talk with my hands too. It's the little bit of French in me. So, sorry, I notice these things when I'm like seeing myself on the video. I love that I've gotten to know some of my customers on such a personal basis that I remember where they're from. Like, how often do you do business with someone and you know where they live? Especially with LuLaRoe, where we do it business throughout the entire US. Like, I can tell you that Ellen lives in Florida. I can tell you that Rebecca lives in Connecticut. I remember their first and last name. I remember their face. I remember what styles of clothing they like. And that's amazing. Like, I love that we can be so close with our customers, because then you're on a more personal level. Sorry, I gotta check the time. I have like 10 minutes till I have to go pick up my daughter. I just like that you can be on such a personal level to know someone like that. And that's why people will come back to shop with you, because you're not just trying to sell a product. You are selling yourself. They're coming back because they like either my personality, they like watching me live, which I don't think I'm very funny, and I get nervous on lives. But they like that I remember things about them. Like, that's key. So for me, it's never been just about the clothes. I honestly, my favorite part about LuLaRoe is the owner of LuLaRoe, Deanne. She's inspiring, you guys. I remember going to a training in Boston, and it was at that moment that I was like, wow, she's amazing. Like, she built this company from nothing. Like, she did the time, she did the work. She, you know, put herself out there. She did, you know, things that made her uncomfortable, but it's honestly her heart of gold. So throughout this entire journey, yes, you guys have heard negative about LuLaRoe. But honestly, sorry, I'm getting like goosebumps. Honestly, like, I knew in my heart that she cared about the retailers in the company. She cares about the customers in the company. She doesn't have like a bad bone in her body. Her heart is like gold. And I'm not just saying that, because at that training in Boston, she shared with us this, like, her story. And sorry guys, I get emotional when I think about this, because something about like people doing good makes me emotional. And I don't know if it's because of all the kids I've had and my hormones being all crazy, but there was a video that she showed. You don't know a lot about her. Like, unless you go to these trainings or you know Deanne personally, this is kind of like the changing point, like where I know like she's a good person. She's adopted a lot of kids, you guys. Like, a lot. I can't remember the number off the top of my head. I think it's like 9. I'm not kidding. Her family is huge. She loves family. It's so important to her. But there was this one story that, like, I mean, there wasn't a dry eye in this auditorium. It was a video of one of her adoptions of one of her daughters. And she went to this different country. I'm getting teary-eyed because the story is, like, unbelievable. There was a little girl. I don't know the exact age of the girl. Like I said, this was a couple years ago that I went to it, but her mom dropped her off at the orphanage, and she made it seem like, it was just going to be like a weekend thing. Like, I'm going away for the weekend. Like, you're going to hang out with all these kids. It's going to be fine. I'll see you in a couple of days. So she dropped her daughter off, and she never went back to get her daughter. It's like heartbreaking. Like, could you imagine being a child and your mom dropping you off and saying like, bye? Oh, I'm sorry. Like, oh, it touches me so much. But, so Deanne used to do a lot of work at like the orphanages, and she's done so much work like in all these different countries. And one of these times, you know, she had asked this girl who actually had spent years at the orphanage at this point. She was the only one that could speak English. And she asked, like, you know, how did you learn how to speak such great English? And she, you know, said like MTV, which was funny. Everyone laughed on that. But Deanne adopted her. And I remember, I think in the video she had said they had no money at this point. Like they didn't start off billionaires, Mark and Deanne. Mark worked a lot. And they used their last bit of money to adopt this child. Like, I'm not even kidding. They scraped up change and they adopted this child, which is amazing to me. Like I said, it chokes me up. Like it makes me know that she's a great person, and I completely stand behind Deanne. Again, I'm sorry, I'm rambling on. This is probably like you're following. It's a jumble mess, but that's why I've stuck it out so much. The times that I'm like, I'm going to quit, I'm like, nope, I can't. Like, she is so good. She would never just do us wrong. So as much as people badmouthed her or tried to tear her business down, I knew that she wouldn't do that. She's not that type of person. Okay, so anyways, during year 2, I got to go to convention for the first time. Convention was a training out in California. I wouldn't have been able to go had I not had amazing sales from my amazing customers during that time period. That was the first time I ever went to California. I got to see Deanne again. I'd already seen her before at one of the trainings. It was a blast. Like, it was so much fun. And I got to come back with so much knowledge. And one of my goals that I had since the beginning and that I had leaving convention is that I wanted to cruise qualify. You guys, LuLaRoe, still checking the time, sorry. LuLaRoe has an incentive that if we, you know, sell a certain amount of clothing for 6 months straight, that we get to go on a cruise for free. And that has been one of my goals since the very beginning. And it's an overdrive this year. Like, I'm gonna be on that cruise next year. So anyways, I did have bad times. Like I said, the beginning of 2018, almost to the end of 2018, my sales kind of went from an average of selling 5,000 to 6,000 a month to selling 3,000. That went down to 2,000. Then it was down to 1,000. My worst month ever was October 2018. You guys, I sold nothing. I didn't sell a thing. This was like kind of my, you know what, I'm going to start giving my stuff away to consultants. I'm getting done. Like that, I was done. I was mentally done. November, I sold $234. So still low, not good. December, the first 3 weeks of December, I did no sales, you guys. And then there was something that just like, I don't know, I kicked myself into gear and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna put in the work and I'm staying in LuLaRoe because I made this commitment and I'm gonna do it. You guys, excuse me, in the last week of December, the week after Christmas, which is normally low sales months, I did $1,360 in sales in 1 week. Imagine what I would have done if I applied myself in the first 3 weeks of December. I was mind blown and was like, you know what? I can do this. Like I made purchases. I bought a ton of stuff from the warehouse, which I hadn't done in a long time. I'm ready to go. So I'm like, you know what? 2019 is going to be my year. In January, I more than doubled my sales, you guys. I did $3,600 in sales in January, and I'm on my way right now. I'm almost the same amount of sales I did in January for this month of February, but I want to do better. I want to do each month better than the month before. And I've just been filling myself with knowledge and reaching out to people and picking brains and figuring out what I need to do to get to where I want to be, which is I want to be selling $12,000 a month. I want to be on that cruise in 2020, and I'm going to do it because when you envision something, it will happen. I'm telling you, it works. I have a dream board, which I'm going to show you because it's the power of the mind. Your mind is like a magnet. What you project out to the world is what you will receive. So if you haven't watched The Secret on Netflix, it states that if you're always in a negative mindset, if you're always saying, oh my God, I'm going to be late to work, I'm going to hit every red light, guess what? The universe is going to deliver red lights and you're going to be late to work because it doesn't care. Like if it's a negative thought or a positive thought, you're just putting that energy into that thought. So I have a dream board of like what I want to achieve. I always add to it. And if I believe that I'm going to sell $12,000 a month, I will do it. So I'm going to show you the dream board really quick. And you guys, okay, sorry. This year, 2019 is LuLaRoe's year. I feel it. I know it. 2018 was not great for them. You know, a lot of people have heard about, you know, the random lawsuits and people trying to bring LuLaRoe down, try to bring Deanne Mark down. And honestly, I think that just lit a fire in them, because we have some of the best prints right now in 2019 than we have ever had. We had, I believe it was between 30 and 40,000 people get done LuLaRoe. I'm telling you, like, the top retailers of LuLaRoe quit. Like, we thought, everyone was like, oh my God, it's ending, here it is. But you know what? We're doing better now than we have ever been. The prints are amazing. Like, I could just go on for days. You guys, like, look at this. Like, these prints are so good. This is a Lene. I love it. You guys, we have, hold on, sorry. We have leopard prints. We have Nicole's with pockets. You guys, they have completely revamped everything and listened to every retailer and consumer out there, and they are delivering. The prints are amazing. Everything's amazing. I can't express it enough that I'm so glad I stuck through, because like I said, my sales right now are better than they've been in a long time. The prints are better than they've been in a long time. Like I said, it lit a fire in them. They are back to prove everyone wrong, and that's always how it works out. So, you guys need to be watching, because the stuff is good. And if you are not already in my group, you should be in LuLaRoe with Alexandria, or my business page is LuLaRoe Alexandria Reed. You guys, I have so much fun selling this clothing, and I like that LuLaRoe works for me. I don't work for LuLaRoe. My daughter was diagnosed with autism this past August, and LuLaRoe no longer became a hobby for me. It became a job. I was getting ready to go back to work, and oh, I gotta get going. I was getting ready to go back to work, and I can't, because I spend a lot of my time driving her to her special appointments. We have to go to speech therapy 2 to 3 times a week. My middle child goes to preschool because she wasn't ready for kindergarten. We have dance, so I can't hold a normal job. So I make LuLaRoe work for me. I sometimes work late at night. I sometimes work in the morning, but I set the hours. It's at my pace, and I'm reaping the rewards now. So quickly, I just want to show you my dream board, because I am rambling on. I'm late to pick up my daughter, but this is, and you can't really see it completely, this is my dream board, which is something that Deanne had said that if you're not seeing it every day, then it's not going to happen. It can't just be up in here. You have to visualize it. And this goes along with the Secret, which is on Netflix, The Power of the Mind. So I have, so you can see, dream board. I don't have a ton of stuff on it, but I slowly add to it, and then I just like look at it all the time. So obviously, like, who doesn't want to win the Powerball? Like, I mean, I do. This is my dream car, which is a Cadillac SRX. You guys, this is my goal right here. 2020, I'm gonna be on the LuLaRoe cruise. I wrote what I need to have in sales, the months that I'm planning on hitting it, because I have to work my way up to that. And I put, you know, you can do it. You got this. Also here, my dream board this year in 2019, I want to be able to sponsor an entire family at Christmas time. I want to be able to buy their tree, their lights, special cookies. I want to buy presents for the entire family, mom, dad, kids. And then I also want to sponsor 10 kids at Christmas. So this past year, I was able to buy things for 8 children in need, which is an amazing feeling. It is so rewarding. And like the saying says, for it is in giving that we receive. And that's what the holidays are about. That's what life is about. In order to receive, you have to give. And I have such big dreams for this next December. So I also want an F-150, like, hello. And then guys, right here, I want to win a spot on the 2019 cruise. As you know, I did not hit the sales achievements. Like I said, I had my really low lows and my highs are starting to go up. So I did not qualify for the cruise, but boy, do I want to be on that cruise, which is setting sail next month. I want to be on it I want to pick everyone's brain. I want to like get fired up even more than I already am, because I'm already like, woo, LuLaRoe, love LuLaRoe. So yeah, this is my vision board, my dream board. And sorry, I can't believe I talked for 25 minutes. That's a long time. All right, so you guys still continue to subscribe to my channel. Drop a comment below. You guys are gonna see a lot more of Alex because things are good right now. Love you all.